Dear students, we have already started with the transportation in human beings, and under this we have studied that the transportation system of human beings consists of blood, arteries, veins and capillaries. Now we will continue with this and start with the next component of the transportation system, that is the heart. So heart is the muscular organ which pumps blood to all parts of our body. Okay, so the main pumping organ of our body is heart, which directs the pure blood from the aorta through aorta to different parts of our body, and from the tissues the impure blood is collected and then it is brought back to the heart for further purification. Okay, so now let us study about the structure of the heart in detail. So the human heart consists of 4 chambers. The upper chambers are known as atria and the lower chambers are known as ventricles. So the upper 2 chambers, they are the right atrium and the left atrium, and the lower 2 chambers are known as the right ventricle and left ventricle. Now as the ventricles pump blood to all the parts of our body, so the ventricles contain thicker walls as compared to that of the atria. Okay, so the walls of ventricles are thicker than the walls of the atria. Both these sides, the right side and the left side, they are separated from each other with the help of a dividing wall. You can see over here in this figure, there is a wall between both the components, both the right component of the heart and the left component of the heart, and this dividing wall is known as septum. So what is the work of this septum? This septum helps in non-intermixing of the pure and impure blood. As we all know that heart pumps out pure blood and then the impure blood from our body is brought back to the heart. So whatever pure and impure blood is present, that is present on the left side as well as on the right side. So the presence of the septum ensures that these both oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, that is the pure blood and the impure blood, does not get mixed with each other. Okay, so it prevents the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now these atrias and ventricles also have valves in between. They are the bicuspid valves and the tricuspid valves, and you will be studying about them in detail in your higher classes. But for now, both these atricles and ventricles, and again the right atrium and the right ventricle, they are having valves in between, and the function of these valves is to prevent the backflow of the blood, so that blood may not flow back towards. Once it enters from the left atrium to the left ventricle, this blood should not go back to the left atrium, and the presence of these valves ensures this backflow. Now the working of the heart, how the circulation of the blood takes place in our body and what role heart is taking place for the continuous circulation of the blood. So as I have already told you that our heart is divided into 4 chambers, the upper 2 chambers and lower 2 chambers. Upper 2 chambers are known as the atriums and the lower 2 chambers are known as the ventricles. So whenever the left atrium relaxes, as you can see over here, whenever this left atrium relaxes, the oxygenated blood from the lungs, as we all know that we get oxygen in our body through the process of respiration, and lungs are one of the main organs which are present in the respiratory system of our body. Lungs play a main role in the exchange of gases in our body. Okay, so this oxygen which is present in the lungs, it moves from the lungs through pulmonary vein, and this oxygen rich blood first of all goes into the left atrium. So the left atrium has to relax so that the oxygenated blood from the lungs flows into the left atrium with the help of the pulmonary vein. As you can see very clearly in this diagram, the arrow shows the direction of the blood, oxygenated blood from the lungs through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. Now this particular left atrium in the next step contracts, and when it contracts, the left ventricle, it expands, and whatever blood is present in the left atrium, it now moves from the left atrium into the left ventricle. Okay, so the next step will be that when the left atrium contracts, left ventricle expands and the blood flows from the atrium, left atrium to the left ventricle. Now comes the function of left ventricle. Now the third step is the left ventricle now contracts, and this oxygenated blood moves to different part of our body through aorta, through a vein known as aorta. You can see here that blood came from the lungs through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium, then it entered into the left ventricle, then through this aorta, you can see over here, this is the aorta, and through this aorta the oxygenated blood moves from the left ventricle and it gets distributed to all other parts of our body. So the other organs or the other tissues which are present in the organs of our body, there are capillaries are present over there. Okay, so very fine capillaries are present on the organs or at the tissue levels, and these capillaries help in the exchange of the blood, okay, at the tissue level. Now what is happening? After circulating through all the parts of our body, the deoxygenated blood enters into the right atrium. So as you can see, the oxygenated blood came from the lungs, entered into the two chambers of the heart, and then it was distributed to other parts of our body. And at the organs and the on the tissue level, there were capillaries present, and the oxygenated blood gave oxygen to those parts of our body and then took carbon dioxide from those parts of the body. So this whole exchange of gases took place with the help of the capillaries. Now the blood becomes deoxygenated, impure blood. Okay, you can see here this side is the red blood, that is the pure blood or oxygenated blood, and this side of the diagram is shown with the help of the blue color, that is the deoxygenated blood. Now the deoxygenated blood or the carbon dioxide rich blood moves from with the help of the vena cava and enters into the right atrium. Okay, now again the same process takes place. The right atrium contracts and the blood enters into the right ventricle. Fine. Then the right ventricle again contracts and the blood is pumped to the lungs. Now the blood is taken to the lungs with the help of the pulmonary artery. Here again the gaseous exchange takes place in the lungs, and the carbon dioxide is removed from the blood and oxygen is absorbed by the blood. And then again the whole cycle again repeats. The oxygenated blood again moves through the pulmonary vein and enters into the lungs, and the whole process of circulation of the blood is carried on. The whole process repeats. So since the blood flows through the heart twice in one cycle in human beings, this is known as double circulation. Okay students, so these both the diagrams are very important. They are asked many times in the board examination. And what is double circulation, this is also asked. Working of the heart is asked, so you should understand it fully. Okay, so today we will stop here and we'll continue with our next lecture tomorrow. Thank you very much.